All right, MMA fans, I'm here with Professional Fighters League latest edition, Mr. Biaggio Ali Walsh. Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm fine as well. Thanks for asking. Listen, I have to confess, I really like your name. It sounds very Italian, Biagio. Do you have Italian origins?
I do. Yeah. I'm named after my great grandfather who is from Sicily.
From Sicily. Have you ever been to Italy?
I've been to Milan. Yes, I,
Oh,
I actually went there in September of 2020.
and did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, the food was amazing, and it was just a beautiful city. And I actually want to go to Sicily one day too. But Milan was beautiful as well.
Yeah, actually, that was my second question. I was going to ask you if you ever been to Sicily, but hopefully you will one day.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm definitely gonna try the food as well.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. Listen, we are here to discuss about your upcoming fight. You're scheduled to face Tom Graesser on the PFL Championships card on November the 25th. I saw on your Instagram that you're preparing at Extreme Couture for this fight. Is that right?
Yes, Extreme Couture is my home gym, and I've been training there since I first started getting into martial arts, like around early 2020.
Okay, that's not very long. I mean, it has been a couple of years almost. So, what is it that you like about mixed Of course, sorry, I have to, to disclose it, but I think it is already no. You're going to fight in an amateur contest on that card.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
So,
I'm super grateful to be able to fight on a card like that as an amateur. I'm over the world, and I thank God every day for that.
yeah, I think the PFL sees a lot of potential in you. What do you think? No, sorry, actually, what were you thinking when they offered you that fight?
Well, before the fight was offered, when they came to me originally, I was kind of like, whoa, like I'm an amateur, like what? I was a little bit confused, but they see potential in me, and I've just again, I'm just super grateful for that, and I'm gonna take advantage of having the platform that I have and this next fight and whatnot, and shortly after, Ray Cepho, because he's over at Extreme Couture all the time. I see him every day. He asked me, he's like, "Are you ready to fight November 25th?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's when I first heard about the date, and since then I kind of just started training, and now I'm ready.
Back to my original question, what is it that you like about MMA? Since I know that you were a football player in
Hmm.
college or before transitioning to MMA. We'll discuss about that in a little bit. I would like to hear what is it that you like about the mixed martial arts in general.
Oh, I love everything about it. Martial arts in general. It gives you great discipline. Ever since I started training in martial arts, especially MMA, uh, I feel better mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Just more positive, and it the beautiful thing about it is you're always the student. You know, you're not obviously you become a coach and you can become a teacher and stuff, but you're always the student in martial arts. There might be a day where some guy comes in a gym and shows you something that you've never seen before, and you've been in the game for 20, 30 years. So I think that the beauty of MMA especially is that there's this endless void of possibilities that could happen in a fight. And we discover those all the time. Like for example, when Joaquin Buckley knocked that one guy out when he caught the leg and spun and kicked him, like we never really saw anything like that. So that kind of goes back to that endless void that of possibilities that is possible in the world of MMA. So I'm just in love with that, and it's an art too, so you can uh, pick certain tactics and habits from different fighters and mold it to yourself. That's what I do. I'll watch different fighters and I'll take certain things and habits that they do, and I'll try to mold it in my own ability. I can't fully replicate what they can do because I'm not them. You know, everybody's got a certain style that's different, but you can take it and mold it to yourself. And that, I think, is the beauty of martial arts.
Who are some of the names you enjoy watching?
I love watching Piotr Jan. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I love watching Robert Whitaker, Jose Aldo, Charles Oliveira. You know, these are guys that I'll watch. And Chuck Liddell. You know, these are guys I watch, and I'll like, I literally take notes and I study what they do, and then I'll go to practice and try it in sparring and see if I can mold it to myself, because I'm not going to fully be able to replicate it again, you know? So I just try to like mold it to myself. And, you know, and the beauty of it too, is like, we're in a generation now where we have YouTube, we have all these platforms where we could watch film and actually study, and people give tutorials and stuff. And, you know, back then there wasn't that. You kind of had to go to a gym and learn it. But now you know, you got resources where you could look and watch and study, take notes, and then go and practice it. So I'm just, you know, blessed to be able to be in a generation where I could do that.
And of course, fighting runs in your family, runs in your blood, since you're Muhammad Ali's grandson. Um, your grandfather was one of the greatest fighters ever. I'd like to ask you, what recollection do you have of him?
Oh, there's a ton, you know. Since I was a little kid, we would always go to his house and spend time with him. And, you know, obviously he had Parkinson's, and you know, his speech was a little bit impaired and whatnot. But the main thing that we would do to spend time with him was just hang out, just hang around the house, watch movies, do magic tricks. We would draw with him. Even when we would go to restaurants, you know, we would be at the restaurant and he would draw on the tablecloth that they give you, and we would draw it as well. And yeah, so, you know, moments like that, I I will remember forever. You know, we once went to, I think one of my favorite memories is when we saw Peter Jackson's King Kong when it first came out. And if you've seen the movie, you don't really see King Kong until like an hour and a half in the movie. So the first like hour of the movie, he kept just tapping us, "Where the monkey at? Where the monkey at? Where the monkey at?" So those are one of my just favorite moments that I've had with him.
Yeah, you're totally right. The King Kong appears in the second half of the movie.
Yeah.
So, man. Listen, but have you tried boxing, since your grandfather was one of the greatest boxers ever?
Yeah, you know, growing up, I would always kind of just hit mitts with like my uncle, hit the heavy bag. You know, at my grandfather's house in Michigan at the time, he had a full gym. Like he had a ring in his gym, and he had heavy bags around. And me and Nico, as little kids, we would just kind of hit the bag and just, you know, mess around and stuff. Um, Growing up, like in middle school, you know, me and my brother would kind of go around the neighborhood and ask kids to box us and stuff. And we would get in kind of like these like street boxing type stuff growing up. And I never seriously though, like I never sparred or went into an actual boxing gym, got any amateur fights or anything like that. I kind of, after football, I went straight into MMA.
And what about football? How come eventually you turned to MMA?
I just, you know, it was one of those situations in football where I had committed to a staff. Um, staff that I committed to got fired before I got there. So I was introduced to this whole new football staff that didn't really know me. They usually want to use the guys that they recruited. So, you know, coming from a very successful high school football career to almost being invisible, it was a very humbling experience. And I never really like wanted to go professional in football. I don't know what it was. It was never something that I genuinely loved. You know, for the first time in my life, you know, I actually get excited to go to the gym. You know, I get excited for sparring days. And, you know, I didn't feel that with football. You know, it was, with football, it was more like, oh, practice. Like kind of just going through the motions, but with martial arts, obviously there's going to be some days where I'm like, I don't want to go to practice, but most of the time I love going to the gym. I thank God every time I wake up and I'm able to go to the gym as a healthy person and be able to work with some of the best coaches and teammates in the world. So there's a big difference with my love for football and what I have with MMA. I felt like I loved football in high school, but not in college.
Do you still watch football from time to time?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And who do you think is going to win? I have to disclose, I'm getting into football right now. I'm Italian, so I grew up watching
Oh,
soccer.
sweet.
I'm getting into football
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, so I know that the season has just started just 10 weeks ago. But who do you
Mm-hmm.
think is going to win? Or let's pick the Super Bowl finalists.
Oh, I actually don't know. I don't watch football as much as my friends do. My friends keep up with it. They do they get gamble parlays and whatnot. And but I will say, one of my favorite players is Patrick Mahomes. Watching him play is just incredible. He's a fantastic athlete, and he gets the job done and whatnot. So he's one of those players that I watch and I really tune in when he's playing.
Yeah, Mahoney is one of the greatest indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to MMA and to your upcoming fight, is there any video materials on your upcoming opponent, or are you going to step into the cage and face him there?
Yeah, there's footage I've seen. There's a couple fights he's had on YouTube. They're old fights. They're like 4 to 6 years old. But his last fight, he actually fought one of my teammates, and I watched that fight as well. And there's just a couple fights that I've seen. They say he's coming in as 0-0, but actually the guy does have experience. He's 4-4, and that's just in sanctioned fights. He's also had a lot of fights that are unsanctioned, so it's not on record. So the guy's pretty experienced, but I just don't think he's on my level athletically, speed wise. I don't think he has my fight IQ and explosiveness and power.
Is there any other fight you're interested in on the upcoming PFL Championship card?
I think watching Sadibou fight is gonna be like, I'm super excited for him because he's my teammate. I see him every day at the gym, just working hard, and I'm excited to see him become a millionaire. So I'm just I want him to come back to the gym with that belt around his waist and $1 million check. So I'm mostly excited for his fight.
Yeah, indeed, and he is going to compete for the welterweight championship, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Biagio, I finished my questions. Do you have any last messages you would like to share with us today?
I'm just thank you for having me on your interview, and I'm just super grateful to be in the position that I'm in right now. And for anybody who's tuning into the fight, prepare for fireworks because I'm looking to put on a show.
Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time today. Best of luck with the upcoming fight, and hopefully I will hear again from you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice one. Bye-bye.